YouTube. We usually record and put it on YouTube. Is that okay?
Yes, that's okay.
Okay, fine. So
Okay.
we are
So,
reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, but I would like to introduce you. I don't have your biodata, so maybe we can start, because when others come in, we can introduce you at the end so that everybody gets the benefit of it, of knowing who you are. So we can leave that for later on.
yes,
But
definitely.
please feel welcome. And we are
Thank
reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 1, and the text for today is text
44.
44. So over to you. We usually start with the Manglacharan, but you can advise us and we will just follow.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
I was going to suggest the same thing, that we can all start with the Manglacharan. So, Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so I'm not sure if everybody reads the Sanskrit verse after or along with Rukma Prabhu, but I guess we can start with that first. Ajasya. Okay, sorry. Does everyone have the books ready? Okay.
We all have the Srimad Bhagavatam with us, but everybody is muted because of the lag, then
Oh, yes.
it disturbs everybody. So we all keep our mics off, and then it's only the speaker, or if you ask somebody to read, then we can read. Only that person will have the mic on, but otherwise our mics are off.
Okay. So I'll read the verse, then maybe one person can read it once more. Ajasya janmotpatanashanaaya karmanya karturgrahanaaya pumsam nanvanyatha korhati deha yogam paro gunanam uta karma tantram. Maybe one person can read it.
Do we have any volunteers, or we can go to word to word?
If you give me 1 second, let me open my book, please. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Which verse is it again?
44. 44.
Yes, tomorrow I'm doing
44.
45. Yeah? It's 3144, right?
Yes.
3144.
Okay, sorry.
Ajasya janmotpatanasasya karmanya.
Okay, text 44. Ajasya janmopatanasanaya karmani akartur grahanaya pumsam nanyanyatha korahati deha yogam paro gunanam uta karma tantram.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we can go to the word-to-word translation. Ajasya, of the unborn.
Ajasya, of the unborn.
Mataji, I think you can read it so that we do not end up spending so much time repeating.
Okay. Ajasya, of the unborn. Janma, appearance. Utpatha nasasnaya, for the sake of annihilating the upstarts. Karmani, works. Akartu, of one who has nothing to do. Grahanaya, to take up. Pumsam, of all persons. Nanuanyata, otherwise. Ka, who. Arhati, may deserve. Deha yogam, contact of the body. Parha, transcendental. Gunanam, of the three modes of nature. Uta, what to speak of. Karma, karmatantram, the law of action and reaction. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So, translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The appearance of the Lord is manifested for the annihilation of the upstarts. His activities are transcendental and are enacted for the understanding of all persons. Otherwise, since the Lord is transcendental to all material modes, what purpose could he serve by coming to earth? We can read the purport, it's not very long. One paragraph per person. Mataji, would you like to start?
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ishvara Param Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Brahma Samhita 5.1. The form of Lord is eternal, blissful, and all-knowing. His so-called birth is therefore an appearance only, like the birth of the sun on the horizon. His birth does not, like that of living entities, take place under the influence of material nature and the bondage of the reaction of past deeds. His work and activities are independent pastimes and are not subject to the reaction of the material nature. In Bhagavad Gita 4.14, it is said, Namam karmani limpanti, namam karma phalespara, iti mam yo bhajanti, bhijanati karma bhirna sabhatyate. The law of karma enacted by a Supreme Lord for his living entities cannot be applicable to him, nor has the Lord any desire to improve himself by the activities like those of ordinary living beings. Ordinary living beings work for the improvement of their conditioned life, but the Lord is already full of all opulence, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Why should he desire improvement? No one can excel him in his opulence, and therefore the desire for improvement is absolutely useless for him. One should always discriminate between the activities of the Lord and those of the ordinary living beings. Thus, one may come to the right conclusion regarding the Lord's transcendental position. One who can come to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence can become a devotee of the Lord and can at once be free from all reaction of past deeds. It is said, Karmani nidharti kintucha bhakti bhajam. The Lord minimizes or nullifies the reactionary influence of the devotee's past deeds. Brahma Samhita 5.54. Hare Krishna, would anybody else like to read?
Hare Krishna, yes, please. Thank you. The activities of the Lord are to be accepted and relished by all living entities. His activities are to attract the ordinary man toward the Lord. The Lord always acts in favor of the devotees, and therefore ordinary men who are fruitive actors or seekers of salvation may be attracted to the Lord when he acts as protector of the devotees. The fruitive actors can attain their goals by devotional service, and the salvationists can also attain their goal in life by devotional service to the Lord. The devotees do not want the fruitive results of their work, nor do they want any kind of salvation. They relish the glorious superhuman activities of the Lord, such as his lifting Govardhan hill and his killing the demon Putana in infancy. His activities are enacted to attract all kinds of men, karmis, jnanis, and bhaktas. Because he is transcendental to all laws of karma, there is no possibility of his accepting a form of Maya, as is forced on the ordinary living entities who are bound by the actions and reactions of their own deeds. So the third paragraph is small. So I finish it, Mataji?
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. The secondary purpose of his appearance is to annihilate the upstart asuras and to stop the nonsense of atheistic propaganda by less intelligent persons. By the Lord's cautious mercy, the asuras who are killed personally by the personality of Godhead get salvation. The meaningful appearance of the Lord is always distinct from ordinary birth. Even the pure devotees have no connection with the material body, and certainly the Lord, who appears as he is in his Satchitananda form, is not limited to a material form. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. So in this verse, it begins with talking about how the appearance of the Lord is manifested for the annihilation of the upstarts. Earlier in the chapter, I believe in the previous classes, you were discussing how the Mahabharata setting was, how Lord Krishna arranged for the Kurukshetra war to happen. And it is a discussion of Vidura and Maitreya, where Vidura is asking Maitreya Muni questions about what happened to Krishna, what about the family, what about Yudhishthir Maharaj, how is the kingdom going, how is everything going? And from Vidura's questions, we can understand his devotion for Krishna. We can understand what exactly the devotee wants to talk about. Everything is about the Lord, because that is actually what is ultimately beneficial to all of us. So before we go on, in the last class, I believe you had talked about the roles of women and a few other aspects in regards to Vidura's questions to Maitreya Muni, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. But if you want, you can recap. But we did go through that.
Okay. So I will begin with this verse itself, since I'm sure everybody already remembers the setting with which this flow is coming. So here, Srila Prabhupada is talking about how the form of the Lord is Satchid Ananda, eternal, blissful, and all-knowing, and that his birth is not like our birth, it is transcendental. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.9, I believe, he says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha, that the Lord's appearance and activities are transcendental, they are not like ours. But many times we see that there are many people who believe the Lord to be just an ordinary man. And so how can we understand that Krishna does not have a body like us? In the Bhagavad Gita, there is this part where Arjuna and Lord Krishna are discussing in the starting of chapter 4 that Krishna says to Arjuna, I have passed on this knowledge to the sun god Vivashvan, and later on Arjuna presents his doubt that Vivashvan is much, much older than you. How is it that you are saying you passed on this knowledge to him all that time ago? And there Krishna says, many, many births I have taken and you have taken. I remember them all, but you don't. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is talking about how the reason Krishna remembers is because he's not changing his body. He has the same eternal, blissful, transcendental body throughout. When we change our body is when we forget, like after we die. Sometimes it doesn't even take us to die to forget so many things in our lives. I'm sure I don't remember things. Let's not even talk of a few years. We don't remember things even a week ago. But the Lord, he remembers births, many, many births. Our bodies are constantly changing, even now within this very same body. It doesn't require us to die and take birth again and forget all the memories to understand how forgetful we are. So this is how Srila Prabhupada is talking of the Lord's body as transcendental to ours. And also, we must understand that we come here. So Srila Prabhupada is talking about in the purport that his works and activities are independent pastimes and are not subject to the reactions of material nature. Our births, we take births in a certain family. We have not chosen the family. We have not chosen the circumstances that may prevail us. We have not chosen whether we will be male or female. All these things are based on our past karma. And according to the conditioning we get in this body, we are forced to act. For example, a dog. Somebody takes birth as a dog due to his past karma. He is conditioned to bark. let's say he may want to speak, he cannot. The memory is gone is one part, but also that body has conditioned him to behave like a dog. A hog will behave like a hog. But in the case of the Lord, it is not his karma, or it is not, his activities are transcendental. He is not forced or bound by the material modes of nature. And therefore, whatever he does is all out of his own free will. And we also see that this also applies a little bit to the devotees. I'd like for you to give me examples where devotees were in bodies of animals, but they were not completely conditioned by that body because of being a devotee of the Lord.
Hare Krishna, is Bharat Maharaj in the body of a deer. He remembered his past life, and Gajendra, who was sitting in Dumya, in the body of an elephant.
Yes, yes. So we can see that in connection with the Lord, we get properties like him. Just there's this famous example Srila Prabhupada uses of the iron rod in touch with fire, that the iron rod becomes just like fire. So the same way, devotees, us, we become just, we have the qualities and the properties that the Lord possesses within us, reflecting because we are in connection with the Lord. So just as the Lord's, there's also one more example, by the way, but that's not an animal body, it's a demon body, Vritrasura in Canto 8 of the Bhagavatam, where he's a demon, conditioned, but still he is telling Indra that please kill me because I want to go back to the Lord. So even in a demon body, his bhakti is so strong that he can remember. Gajendra, an elephant, he's offering a lotus flower to the Lord. Bharat Maharaj is a deer. Deer normally stay together with their herd. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but they generally stay together with their herd. But Bharat Maharaj, because of his devotion, he retained the memory. Because of the mercy of the Lord, he retained the memory, and he is able to stay away, stay in the association of pious sadhus, so that because he remembers and he repents what happened in the past life. So one of the major points here is that we must understand that Krishna's body is transcendental and his activities are transcendental. He is not at all under the influence of material nature or the bondage of the reactions of past deeds. While we are different in the sense that we are bound by our karma, we are bound by the conditioning which forces us to act sometimes in ways. There are so many generalizations we see. For example, women are emotional, men can be rough, this or that. So it is all a matter of the conditioning and of our past karma that shapes us and pushes us to act in certain ways. So I guess we can move on to discussing the next part. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada has written that the Lord is already full of all opulence. The six opulences are all wealth or opulence, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. This is something we must always strive to remember, because sometimes in our regular lives we feel, okay, oh, there is this aspect of pride or attachment over something, be it wealth, be it something else, fame or beauty, or we may be attracted by certain aspects in certain people. But when we understand that all this is present in full in the Lord, then our attraction has a proper direction, a very firm shelter to go to in the Lord. And then later on, the Lord is also talking about one who can come to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence can become a devotee of the Lord and can at once be free from all reactions of past deeds. So before we discuss this, I'd like to ask you, how is it that one who comes to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence becomes a devotee of the Lord? So what are the problems that stop us from becoming devotees of the Lord in relation to not understanding the Lord's transcendence?
Is it faith? We don't have the faith.
Yes, we don't have faith.
Hare
But
Krishna
sometimes
Mata.
when people are like rich people who have got lots of money and they don't have kind of problems, so if you think, okay, I am the Lord myself, why do I have to believe into God? That is also there. Okay, I'll let Gayatri Mataji speak now.
No, if it's okay, Mataji, please go ahead. Yeah, I was trying to say like it's our own self ego thinking that we Lord. So we think that we are only everything, so we don't believe in God and our own self ego. Mataji, that.
Yes, so a lack of faith, the ego coming in between, all these are definitely reasons why we are not able to become devotees of the Lord. But that is the goal of our life. So how can one who comes to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence become a devotee of the Lord? There is one more point I'd like to add. That, okay, before we speak about the point, we can look at the setting of the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna was in doubt, but did Krishna speak before Arjuna surrenders and says, "My Lord, I am now a soul surrendered unto you. I have lost all composure. Please guide me." Krishna does not speak or instruct before that. But as soon as Arjuna surrenders, the Lord takes up the position of the spiritual master and now he guides him. Now he takes Arjuna under his wing. So I believe that until we don't understand the Lord's transcendence, it is also not easy for us to surrender, because everybody wants a proper shelter to surrender unto. In the sense that, for example, a woman may be choosing a partner and she'll have many considerations to take when she's choosing that partner. That, okay, if I'm going to go live with this person, he should at least be stable, or there are many common sense considerations that a woman would make. So in that sense, every jiva is in search for shelter. Everybody wants proper shelter. And once we understand the Lord's transcendence, how he is actually the perfect shelter for us, then we are more able to mold ourselves to be able to surrender unto the Lord. And once we take that first step of surrender is when we can begin our journey in devotional service. So one of the takeaways I would like for all of us to have from this class is that we must mold our lives in such a way that we are always hearing and reading about Krishna, so that we can make our heart ready for surrender. And that will help us understand the Lord's transcendence and thereby become a devotee. Of course, all of you are already on that devotional path, but we can always keep progressing more and more towards Krishna. Okay, so there's also this point where the Purport is talking about the Lord minimizing or nullifying the reactionary influence of the devotee's past deeds. So, in regards to this, there's also something we must be careful about. Definitely, it is because of the Lord's mercy that our suffering has minimized to such a level. Most of the times, when something happens, we're always asking, "Oh God, why me?" Or "I lost my car in the accident," or something or the other. But we don't see that maybe the Lord has actually minimized it. If you would have to amputate your arm, you maybe lost just a few fingers. You could have lost a leg, or you could have lost life, but you're still alive. So a devotee's perspective is always to see the mercy of the Lord in everything. That actually the Lord has minimize the reactionary influence from my past karma. And however, there's one point Rukma Prabhu had once mentioned in one of the classes, that this is so when we are connected to the Lord. For example, when you plug in a fan, it starts spinning. When you are performing devotional service, you are plugged in and the fan will spin. Sorry, when you are not connected to devotional service, the fan is spinning, the material fan. The moment you plug out of the material life, the fan slowly stops. So that's how the reactions are slowly. Now you stop being so affected by material life. But if you get back into material activities and you plug back in, the fan starts once more. So we must make sure to keep ourselves within devotional service so that we are always under the protection of Krishna. And of course, even the so-called bad things that happen to us have a reason under Krishna's protection. Then the next paragraph in the purport is talking about why the Lord comes. So in Bhagavad Gita, we have read the verses Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Cha Dushkritam 4.7 Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya and 4.8 Paritranaya Sadhunam. Lord Krishna is talking about how he is coming to save the devotees and to kill all the miscreants who are putting dharma down, who are introducing adharma. So in that case, that is definitely one of the purposes. Here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada has written the secondary purpose of his appearance is to annihilate the upstart asuras and to stop the nonsense of the atheistic propaganda. So that is one of the Lord's purpose. He is very merciful and he always comes down in order to get rid of the demons, to help the devatas. Lord Indra is always going to pray to Lord Brahma that please ask for the Lord to come down, because the earth cannot take this burden anymore. Whenever there has been a problem, the demigods have gone to the shelter of the Lord, that please help us. And the Lord has multiple times helped them. Maybe some of the members of the class can share some of the times the demigods have approached the Lord and the Lord's coming, taking different incarnations. Would anyone like to share some?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, when the demons were attacking the demigods, always they will approach the Lord for the churning of the ocean of milk. So they approach the Lord. When Bali Maharaj took over the whole universe, then they approached the Lord. And when they did these two instances, but most of the time they would just go. They'll just go to the Sir Sagar and pray to the Lord. I remember with these two for the time being. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for sharing. It's really nice to hear about all the different pastimes, to remember them over and over again. So yes, the Lord came as Vamandev, the Lord came as Lord Ram, the Lord came in the form of Krishna. So many times he has come, Mohini Avatar, in order to get rid of the miscreants, in order to stop adharma and to re-establish dharma. But in the purport, there is a primary purpose that Srila Prabhupada talks about, that the Lord is coming because he wants to attract the ordinary man towards him. The Lord's pastimes are so beautiful, so superhuman, and his relationships with the devotees especially are so sweet, and that is what will attract the people. Our main purpose in this world, many people will have different purposes, but as we are practicing devotional service, we have come to understand that actually the main purpose is to reconnect with God. The main cause of any miseries we are currently having is that we are away from the Lord. And once we get back that connection, once we get back that lost, or you can say hidden love towards the Lord, then everything will automatically sort out in one sense. So the aim is to go back to Krishna or to develop that bhakti for Krishna. So the Lord is just like a father. He also wants us to come back. And therefore, he comes down here to perform so many different pastimes to attract the living entities back to him. Because for killing the demons or saving the devotees, there are so many ways. The Lord is all powerful. He could kill thousands of people with just his glance. The way in the Bhagavatam, in the first canto, it is described, first and second, it is described how just by glancing at material nature, the Lord impregnates the Mahat Tattva with all the jivas. And if just by his glance he can bring up the whole creation, I'm sure to destroy is not going to be such a difficult task. The demons of today are not even that powerful. One sickness, corona, or a tsunami, or anything can automatically wipe everyone off. So that's not the main thing. But the Lord is coming here, and we must register this mercy of His, because if we don't, then we miss the point in our bhakti. If we don't recognize and appreciate this mercy of His coming down for each and every one of us, then we miss the point of bhakti. And I think the beauty of the Bhagavatam is that it talks of all the different relationships of the Lord with the devotees, and that is what attracts us, because we are looking for that sweet relationship. That's why we are looking to love the dog. Srila Prabhupada gives the example so many times that, okay, he doesn't want to love God, so he's gotten so many dogs. God and dog. So we need to rechannel our love to the right place. And the Bhagavatam has all the kathas, very sweet, sweet pastimes, where the pastimes with of Kunti and Krishna, so many different relationships of the Lord with his devotees. And that is the purpose, to attract. Srila Prabhupada is talking of how the fruitive actors can attain their goals by devotional service. The salvationists can attain their goal in life by devotional service. And devotees, they don't want the fruitive results, nor do they want any kind of salvation, but they relish the superhuman activities of the Lord, like lifting over the hill, killing the demon Putna, etc. So basically, our main goal, one other takeaway from this class should be that we should always strive to be attracted to the pastimes of the Lord. If we are not feeling that attraction, if we are not able to feel the potency, the mercy of the Lord in every single interaction of His, then we must go to associate with devotees who are feeling it, because I think that is the only way that we will progress in devotional service. Otherwise, our mind is always having so many different things to think about, so many material attractions. The main point of devotional service is not just to give up the material attraction, but to put our mind in a positive manner, attracted to the Lord. Srila Prabhupada, I'm not sure where in the Bhagavatam, but there's a purport I had read where he's talking of how you don't need to give up anything. It's just a matter of changing the attraction. If you are attracted to singing, instead of Bollywood music, sing now for Krishna. Whatever you do, you don't need to change the activity, just change the attraction, the focal point where your focus is. So we must strive to be attracted by the superhuman activities, the leelas of the Lord, because that is what He's coming here to do. He's coming here for each and every one of us. And yes, so I guess we have discussed most of the points. Is there anything anyone would like to share from what they have read in regards to the purport?
So I'd just like to share about when you said that the Lord, I think it was mentioned in yesterday's class, or I heard it from somewhere else probably, about the mercy of the Lord, that another incarnation, Advaita Acharya prayed for Gauranga, which we are going to be celebrating next week. So he came, and his mercy, I mean, he did come to annihilate the miscreants. He didn't come in any other form that he usually used to come. But this time he came just to give his mercy to all of us. And we are very, very grateful for that. And to be born in this, or to be alive at this time, where we have seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's places. I mean, for Krishna, it's in Vrindavan, and probably people will say, oh, 5,000 years. But for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's all there. We can see his artifacts. We can see where he was born. We can see his house, and it's all intact. And I think this time he came to give us mercy. So we are very lucky. And if we miss that chance of getting attracted to him, as you mentioned, that the whole aim of this life, goal for us who are not even at that level at the moment, is to just get attracted to him. So I think that is the greatest thing for the time being for all of us, the need of the hour, to appreciate his mercy. And then yesterday we heard also that, and forgive me if it wasn't yesterday, but I heard that some people might say, oh, there was a couple who lost their child who was 14, 15 years old, and she said, why did I have been doing seva and I've been chanting, why did God do this to me? Loss of a child is very severe for a mother. And probably even Dhritarashtra felt that for Duryodhan, because Vidur had said to Dhritarashtra that this guy, Duryodhan of yours, is going to get everybody, the whole dynasty will have Vinash.
Yes.
So it's better to get rid of him. But as a father, it might be very difficult for Dhritarashtra to kill Duryodhan. So similarly, this couple who were serving the Lord always had this feeling inside them that we know that we are surrendered to you, but you took our 14-year-old daughter. I mean, it wasn't the right thing. And it took them probably 12 or 13 years to see that it was the mercy of the Lord that they got separated from their daughter. So immediately we can't see the mercy of the Lord, but we can see it later on. So those were the 2 points that I was thinking of when you were talking.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's really nice that you mentioned Advaita Prabhu and how he called for Lord Gauranga and Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mercy. Considering that the festival is coming up, it's always wonderful to keep on remembering and hearing, because that helps us to, on the day of the festival, understand its importance and be able to really call out for that mercy. So yes, over here we are having a dance drama on the life of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I really wish everyone would be able to join to come watch. But yes, thank you so much for the point. It has personally really helped me think of a few points on the Lord's mercy. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share something?
Over here also we are doing the skit, and we are going to, the children will be reciting as well. So
that's wonderful.
Shishtashtakam. Yeah, Shishtashtakam. And we have here Dennis Mugo, Bhakta Mugo, who's working with Nation, and they are working on a drama as well. So
that's really great. Helping to spread the attraction to the Lord's pastimes all over through these services. That's really great.
Okay, before anybody gives their contribution, I think this is a good time for us to introduce you to the group. I waited for this time so that most of the participants are there. So Chandni Mataji, I didn't have your phone number, so I couldn't ask you to give me your brief biodata. But so please introduce yourself to us.
As for introduction, I think I can just say I'm just a simple student of His Grace Rukma Prabhu and also His Grace Sri Gauranga Prabhu, who took us through the Bhagavatam. With His Grace Rukma Prabhu, we have been studying Bhagavad Gita, nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. And I'm so grateful for all their efforts. There are so many times, to be very honest, as a young person, you can say we have not lived up to their expectations in devotional service, at least, especially in terms of waking up and stuff like that. But they have been so merciful to us, and as for introduction, it is all their mercy. I'm just a simple student.
So Mataji, you are in Nairobi, and what do you do for?
Yeah, I live in Nairobi, yes, and I'm currently studying. I'm doing my master's in education with the university in the United States, UK, United Kingdom. Yeah,
Which university in the UK, Mataji?
Liverpool John Moores University.
Or thank you so
Yeah.
much for today's class. Any comments, any questions? Yes, Prashanatma Prabhu,
Hare
you'll have to
Krishna.
speak up.
Okay. Hare
Prashanatma
Krishna
Prabhu, speak up
Mataji.
loud. 1 minute,
Yes.
Indulekha.
Okay, yeah. He's not
Prashanatma
talking.
Prabhu is asking a question.
Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes,
Hare
now you are
Krishna, yes.
audible.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about my speaker and everything. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your wonderful class. Chani Mataji is an amazing devotee. We're with her in Nairobi. She has very wonderful association. Yes, we have a common guru, Rukma Prabhu. He teaches us on Fridays. We have another class with her on Friday. So she manages everything very nicely. She's a very good manager as well as an amazing devotee. She's a very amazing actor in Nairobi. So I'm just happy to see her here, to see you here, Mataji, rather, and happy to hear from you today. Wonderful class, wonderful kata. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for the class. I just also wanted to mention I'm inspired, and also that I also had recently by, since you were speaking about the incarnations of Krishna and how he comes especially for the pleasure of the devotees and to attract common men. So recently I was hearing that now in this age, the Lord's incarnation is the holy name. So by just hearing the holy name, by just chanting personally in the association of the Lord, so it's just such a wonderful thing and very inspiring. Can't wait for the drama coming up. I wish I could see like all of them in one place. But yeah, also inspired by Dennis Mugo. We would like to see yours also. I don't know how that can be achieved. I don't have a million eyes or ears. But yeah.
We can see recordings. We will record
Yeah,
it and send it to you,
I
and you
wish I
record
I
and send
wish.
it to us.
Yes. Haribo. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Just those few words. Thank you so much. Nice evening, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you really very much for the point about the holy name being the incarnation in this yuga, because that is our only shelter. And I pray that we can all seriously, sincerely take shelter of the holy name, because it is an easy way, but it's not that simple for those who are not simple. So thank you very much for sharing that point. Is there anybody else who would like to say something?
Indulekha Mataji, kindly go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for this nice discourse. Mataji, congratulations for joining us. And I'm so amazed at your young age and how much well you are performing. And I would encourage you, I know you're a student, I know it's hard, I know because of time difference, please, I would encourage you to join our class every day so that you can inspire all of us. So I'm waiting for you tomorrow. It will be my turn tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, I'd like to request, I don't generally have the links to the classes, so I'm not sure how I can join. Is it the
It
same
will be
link?
Same link every day, same time. The link that you
Oh,
have.
okay. Okay,
But
okay.
if you give me your phone number, I can put you on the Srimad Bhagavatam group that we have.
Okay.
that would be
Yes.
nice. Reminder every day. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I can maybe share my phone number on the
That
chat. Yeah.
okay. Any other questions or comments? If there are no questions or comments, Gayatri Mataji, is it possible for, or Dennis Prabhu, are you able to speak few words and thank Mataji? Bhakti
Hare
Dennis.
Krishna, Mataji. It was very nice class. Thank you, Chandani Mataji. Even though you're so young, we have to learn from you. So nice. Yeah. Very Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yes. Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm actually very much inspired to know a young person with the depth of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's really inspiring, and I hope we can at least try to go through your footsteps. And thank you so much for reminding us that, yeah, we really have so much shelter in this material world, but ultimately, Krishna is the only shelter. And the sooner we know that in its applicability practically, that there's no shelter anywhere else, including Krishna, the better for us. And thank you so much for the beautiful class. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Prabhuji, I really hope we are inspired by Professor Kritika Matek to act the drama. I hope it will be nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Maybe
Thank you.
Are you able to end the session for today? Bhakta Dennis?
Yes, I think we can. I can kindly request all the assembled devotees to unmute. We chant one Maha Mantra in glorification of today's class and our today's mentor, Her Grace Bhakti Chandani. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gruntaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nandikoti Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Her Grace Chandani Mataji ki jai, Aduriti Yatra ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We, Chandani Mataji, we have a YouTube link that I will also send you so that you can get access to the recordings of other speakers as well.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.